What's up, everybody? It's your girl Lexi, and you're hanging out with GrownFolksMusic.com.
GrownFolksMusic.com.
Lexi, welcome to GrownFolksMusic.com.
Thank you.
You've returned to music.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're going to get to that in a second. But I know a great deal of people who follow you know you from your comedy sketches and videos on the internet.
Okay.
How did you come into that, and how do you continue to come up with material for that?
Coming up with material, I don't know. Sometimes it hits me and sometimes it doesn't. It was a dare. Somebody dared me to do something on YouTube that was funny. Because they said, people don't know how funny you are. You're hilarious. And every time you're on TV, you're so serious. When you're on the Bobby Jones show on BET, you're serious. When you're on the Word Network hosting, you're serious. Nobody knows how crazy you are. I was like, okay, like put some up on YouTube. And so I did it as a dare, and then more people kept viewing it, and I started seeing more views and more views, and then it just became a thing, and I was like, so I would do it, as a hobby because I have a job, and on the weekends I would just film something once a month or whatever and throw it up on YouTube, and it became a thing.
I've always known you as a singer.
Okay.
Because I watched you for so long.
Okay.
Sing. But you left music for a while, and I read that you said this is the first time since your husband passed away that you felt as though your heart is really back into music. I know your husband was a co-creator of your earlier music. How has your relationship with him, his memory, his legacy, how has that influenced and informed this new chapter of your music career?
How has my husband helped mold where I am musically now? Well, I give a lot of credit to Mike. Mike was my best friend, and he taught me a few lessons. He was wiser than we should have been at that young age, and he always used to tell me, here's a story, a quick story. When we got married, I'm an only child, so I like to share with people, but I like to share on my own terms. So, just don't reach in my plate, ask me, and I'll give it to you, it's no problem. So when we had to combine our money together, I didn't know how to do that. And so I got a signing bonus from the record label that I was on. And he got his producer's money. And so he said, babe, we gotta, let's put it in our joint bank account. And we gotta get the studio equipment because I wanna make my own studio in our lower level, in our basement. I said, you got thousands of dollars to do from your cut to do that. He said, babe, this is not my money, it's our money. What's happening? And my cut was bigger than his, and he needed my money to get all of the equipment, and I could not reconcile that. I could not figure that out. And he taught me how to be a wife. He taught me how to love and how to forgive and how to say I'm sorry, and I used to storm off when we had arguments, and he taught me how to talk things out. He was always the first one to say I'm sorry and all of that, and it taught me how to do it because all I knew, no shade, all I knew from my mom, single independent woman, pulling her own self up by her bootstraps, becoming a doctor and all of that, all I knew was how to be strong. I didn't know how to be soft. I didn't know how to be feminine, and I had a big problem with bringing him his plate. Why I gotta bring you your plate? You lucky I'm cooking, that kind of thing. And I learned that that's not a weakness when you cook for your man and bring him a plate. One time I asked him, I said, why do I have to bring you your plate? I mean, not have to, but why do you ask me to do that? He said, when we're sitting down and watching TV, he said, you say, honey, can you give me something to drink? He said, don't I get up and get it? Yeah, you do. He said, so why can't I have a plate? You're right. He said, we submit to one another. And so he just taught me little things. And my late pastor used to say, nothing can stretch you like relationships of any kind. Friendship, children, marriage, whatever. Nothing can stretch you like that, because a lot of times in life we won't let people in until we're able to be vulnerable towards them, and then they can speak to that place that we don't share with anyone else. So he taught me and shaped me in a way that no one else could, because I let him into a space that no one else had. I know that was a long answer to a short question, but he shaped me a lot. And one of the things that one of the little nuggets he said was, there's no better investment than yourself. And that's why I started that studio story, because he invested in what he believed in. And now I still use that line. He's been gone for quite some time, and I still use that line. There's no greater investment than to put into yourself. And I agree. I agree with that.
The album is Just Listen.
Just Listen. The album's called Just Listen.
As a return album of sorts, what was important to you that you say on this album to make the people, pun intended, just listen?
Yay. I don't think there's any one thing that I said on this album to make people just listen. I think it's a collaboration of things, collaboration of thoughts that I had. You know, usually with some great artists, I call myself great, but I'm talking about those like Marvin Gaye and, you know, those people, Luther Vandross and others, so many others. You can kind of chronicle their life a little bit because you write out where you are at that moment in your life. Marvin Gaye wrote a lot about, has this great song about Janice. There was a song when he was in love with her. Then there was a song that he wrote when he divorced her. And so, same thing with my album. I kind of wrote from a place where I am with God right now. And I think that everybody can get something from it. I don't know what you need from God. You don't know what I need from God, but God knows. And I say that music is like looking at a painting. I may look at it and see one thing, and you may look at it and see another. We all get something out of it. Same thing with this music. You listen to it, you hear something that maybe I didn't hear. And then it speaks to you in a way that maybe it doesn't speak to me. So you just write the songs and let God do what he does.
You're signed to Motown Gospel?
Yes, signed to Motown Gospel.
I see the label really putting its weight behind you, and pushing you and promoting you. After living in Detroit for so many years, what does it mean to represent the legacy?
Oh, I mean, that's such a big, Motown is itself, and I live in Detroit, and Motown is such a big name. So Motown Gospel, being signed to that, it's amazing. And they're good people that work there, hardworking people. They don't sleep, and I'm not used to that. I love to sleep, and they get me up, and they wake me up, and they constantly send me emails, and they're constantly sending me text messages, and they're constantly calling me, and it's a constant thing, but it's a good thing. So I love it. I mean, there's no better people to work with. No better people to work with. If you have a problem with these guys, something's wrong with you. Real talk.
You're going to Essence Fest?
I am.
Is it your first time?
No, I go to Essence Fest, and I have performed there once. But there's so many things to perform at Essence. I mean, my God. It's just how they keep track of everything at Essence is beyond me. I don't understand. They got something going over here. There's some. I love Essence. Essence is an entity within itself.
What will you be doing at Essence?
I'm going to perform at something called the Empowerment Hour, something like that. Empowerment Hour. Right before the Sunday gospel lineup starts, I get that hour right before then. Yeah.
What's your definition of grown folks music?
Grown folks music is music that you listen to when you pay bills. When you got them bills running around every 30 days, when you got that car note, when you got that rent, when you got that mortgage, you need to sit down, you need to regroup. You have to regroup yourself. You need to sit down for a minute and come home, and you just shut that door and lock it, and you just sit back. Sometimes you don't even want to turn on the TV. You just want to sit back. I got to regroup my mind because these bills are due, so let me sit back. What am I going to listen to? I need some Earth, Wind, and Fire right now. That's what I need. That's grown folks music. Maybe a little jazz is thrown in there, but it ain't this teeny bopper. It ain't Panda. Ain't nobody listen to Designer. I don't want to hear that because I pay bills. So what I need to do is calm down right now, and I need grown folks music.
Lexi, thank you.
My pleasure.
We appreciate you.
My pleasure.
GrownFolksMusic.com